You early, and how about the last one? The big shot right there.
Wait, that 29, Alpha.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't.
And it's second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make it?
Now he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. Sony Michel, his 9th touchdown. And the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Jackson. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Let's put that team on the hook.
Now it's Jackson. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Charles, already down early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
25. Kill. Turn it.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Kyle Van Noy in on the stop.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Nick Perry able to record his 5th sack of the season. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Another try after the first down sack. Brady to Michel on the screen. So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
Brady. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
That is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Benjamin Watson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. A run on first down, but it's not going to get them much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. The veteran Jamie Collins there on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson escaping the pressure right. Caught right side at Sneed. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
They go play action here on first down. Throw left side complete. It's Dixon. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Ingram. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence. Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Pernell McPhee in there on the stop. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After one, a 14-3 ball game. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Patriots in control of the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. On 2nd down, Michelle. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
Hey, 66.
Working from the gun, it's Brady. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big play there for New England. 57 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Brady gives to Michelle. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Throwing on second down. Brady. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Second and 12 at the 36-yard line.
Mark 52. Squeeze, double. 52.
On second and 12, Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year. Led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. From just shy of midfield, Jackson steps away to his Jackson hit, and he lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
On third down, Mark Ingram. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
A 62-yard attempt.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is. But how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Brady's throw there complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up third and about 6.
Wait, set, wide, 80. Sugar!
From the gun, it's Brady. Buying time to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked up. Now the ball comes loose. Up and over. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that, and when they've tried too hard, even imperfect.
And Brady going to be intercepted a third time. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas, and the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Jackson eluding the pressure right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson over the middle here to Brown. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 34. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. To throw is Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ingram. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Out of bounds at the 29-yard line. It's a pickup of 6.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Again, Jackson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Roberts. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line.
First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. On 1st down, it's Ingram. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Tucker's kick is good. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Jackson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And it's 3rd and short. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything. Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And the aggressive play call simply does not work out. You're on your own side of the field here. Punt it, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's a time for analytics and a time for being aggressive, but not with this field position. There's also a time for good old football 101-6.
Yeah.
Punt it away. Let your defense take over with better field position.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Again, it's Michelle. And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Easy.
On 3rd and long, it's Brady. But he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the...
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Sony Michel. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. It's John Simon with a sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still ended up with a solid game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Check.
From the gun, Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Kyle Van Noy. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
72.
So after the INT, it's Brady. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
On 2nd down now, Michelle. There he goes left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Mike Bennett, his 2nd sack of the night.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
We're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know, the rhythm seems off. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and the Patriots take over. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Alabama, 380. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Hey, check it.
Operating from the gun. Brady, he wants it all for the end zone. And that will be incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Hey, go, Mike 40, Mike 40. Right. Check 52. Watch the eye. 72.
He'll go for it. It's Brady. That's to his running back, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. Brady, 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Brady. To Gordon, out left. And he'll go down at the 28. A gain of 6 there on first.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Hey, that's wide, 80. Watch the slip, watch the slip. Hey, hold 66.
Play action, now it's Brady. Throw to the right here to Gordon. Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
The corner, Stephon Gilmore on the stop. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Jackson. Flush to his right. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It was the veteran Devin McCourty who got a hand in there to break that one up. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And Brady's throw there, incomplete. Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. And they'll try Michelle here running on the right side. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Sony Michel, 34 yards. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Gostkowski with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Jackson to throw again. Brought in left side by Snead. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans, but then had a bit of a bounce-back camp. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Tighten up, tighten up.
On play action, now Brady. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the 1st down marker is here on 3rd. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. The Pats do snap it. It's Brady. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Here's Jackson to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Jackson from the shotgun. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens get a bit closer.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. See if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Now a pass dropped off here for James White. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Going deep here for Adelman. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Here's Jones on the return. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Dante Hightower coming in for the sack from his linebacker spot. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Jackson now. Over the middle here to Brown. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. 3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Michael Bannon able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Boy, not deterred from those first 2 failed attempts. They're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down.
Mike 50. I got you, son. I got you, son. That's it. 50's the Mike. 50's the Mike. It's a
on 4th down, Jackson. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Jackson escaping the pressure right. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Tucker with the extra point, and they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. So time definitely not in their favor, down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Letting one go deep for his running back. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Brandon Carr. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check how they're going to fix